Welcome to the Rewards Master Live this afternoon. Let's see who we got in here. I'm just kind of running like a chicken with my head cut off today, so forgive me. All right, let's see who we got in here so far. I don't know what's happening with good friend of the channel. He gifted 5 chemo. Appreciate also a new channel member. So get yourself, Mike, and then also I really appreciate all those channel memberships. Free Music is here, says hello, Rewards Master. Hello, Free Music. Good to have you. Juan Gar says afternoon, Bop. Good to have you here, Juan. Mike says good afternoon to Juan. Eat, Sleep, and Points. Well, that's a pretty cool name. Hello, my favorite Bilt Obsidian and Palladium friends. Yep, we've got a few in here. That's us. So good to have you here, Eat, Sleep. Dim, who's always here, is back. Says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Dim. Mike says hello to Dim. Dim says hello back. Tampa Travel, channel member, says, hey, Bop, hope things are warming up and returning to normal. Well, they're not really warming up, but they are kind of returning to normal. So that's always a good thing. Streetwear says, I made a live stream. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us. I'm just going to call you 81. How's that? 81 is here. Channel member, good to have you here. Excuse me. Free music, Bop, you're breaking up. Okay, it was messing up for a minute. Is it back? Somebody let me know in your next comments if it's back. Capital One transfer bonuses to Jal Sleepy Rod. Yep. I hadn't seen that. Did that just come out? I'll have to check. A-Tier says, hey, everyone. Good to have you back, A-Tier, channel member. Free Music, sounding better now. Good. Glad to hear it. Well, it did. I had to move rooms real quick because Nona has one of our grandkids here, and so it was crazy inside the house. So I had to come out to the old man cave. So Dem says, why flying to Memphis tomorrow? How are the roads? Still not great. Just got mail on Saturday where we live in Mississippi because all of our mail comes out of Memphis. So tell her to be careful. All right. Streetwear, the video sounds fine. Good. Glad to hear it. Mike Newland. Hey, Mike. That's Juan Garcia. And Family Travel John says, hello, Rewards Master Sunday. Good to have everybody here. And I'm glad to get back on my regular schedule. I'm hoping to be able to continue on with these if I don't have any more international travel for a while that will hinder me on Sunday afternoon. So Dim, appreciated the information. Mushu Pork, love your channel. No need to apologize for high value redemptions. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do here. That's for sure. Appreciate it, Mushu. Appreciate that very much. All right. Well, good to have everybody here. I'm trying to see how many we have in, but I didn't have my phone prepped. So hopefully I'll be able to figure it out here in a second, but it's good to have as many here as we have. I'm going to pull up the slides for today. And basically, I do have a few things lined up, but it's going to kind of come down to mostly going over our kind of centerpiece where I'm going to talk about these upcoming different Bilt cash redemptions you can use your Bilt cash stuff for. And there are so many of them. I counted 19 from the email that we were all sent. Yeah, we have, let's see. Phone says we have 31 people in here today. So that's great. That's a really good number. So let's see how many have hit the like and subscribe button. Only 7 have liked the video. So if you would, please like it. That helps. Also, if you would subscribe, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm etching up. I'm over 2,600. I'm getting close to the 3,000 mark. That's kind of a big thing. And thank you to all of you who made my video from yesterday. I can't believe What's in My Wallet did this, but it's my top performing video ever. So I never have like videos go viral or anything like that. They just kind of slowly edge up. So that was quite exciting for me. So let's see. I'll go back and get just a few more comments, and then we will move on. Streetwear. Whenever I stop, I think of Memphis, walking in Memphis. Walking with my feet and feet off of Beale. Beale is my favorite place to go in Memphis. It's pretty fun down there. Mushu Pork, do you see about Capital One transfer bonus? Now a 1-to-1 to JAL. Yeah, I just opened my JAL account last week, so you got to wait like 60 days before they'll let you book anything. So I don't know if that means I have to wait 60 days to transfer or not. If anybody knows the answer to that, let me know, because I would transfer. We got a lot of Capital One points. I would do that if I could. Points with Philip, great creator, always pumping out great content. I've done some collaborations with Philip before. I hope you'll check out his channel. It says, "Hey friends, what's up?" He always starts his videos that way. Hello friends. And so good to have you here, Philip. Great to have you here. Ian says, let's talk about anything but Bilt. What's your next big trip? Any aspirational redemptions? Well, we are going to talk about a little bit of Bilt. I'm sorry about that, but I will talk about some other things first. And when it comes to redemptions, yeah. In fact, I just booked a flight about 20 minutes ago for this fall. I'm going to take Nona and we're going to go. She's never been to Asia, in any part of Asia, except for Dubai and Abu Dhabi. But as far as East Asia, she's never been there before. And so this fall, we usually take a big trip in the spring, big trip in the fall, and we might squeeze in a little trip in between. And then we always do Vegas or Orlando or Miami. We do our little short trips, New York City, Chicago, stuff like that. But for our big trip in the fall, we're going to do Hong Kong. So I booked us Cathay Pacific flights to Hong Kong. Right now, I'm just economy, but I'm working on that. I booked them through AA, so I can cancel them. I always book stuff, so I have something, and then I work on getting good redemptions. So I booked that through AA. I need to call in to apply my Emerald status with One World so that I can get there's 2 seats on that A350 with Cathay that are by themselves in economy. So if we can get those 2 seats, that'd be awesome. I'm thinking they'll probably do that for me if I call in. But for some reason on Cathay, you can't choose your seats on the webpage if you did a partner booking. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But we did that. I've got right now premium economy stuff back from Taipei. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly over. We're going to go to Hong Kong. We're going to stay 3 or 4 days in Hong Kong. She loves to go to the Disney parks around the world. She did Paris Disney last year. So we're going to do Hong Kong Disney while we're there. Might go over to Macau, enjoy some of the Vegas of the East over there. Well, that's from Taipei. So that'd be towards the end of the trip, but I'll tell you about that. So, oh no, it is. Is that next to Hong Kong or Taipei? One of the two. Well, so we might do that. Then we're going to fly on Saturday over to Korea, South Korea, Seoul. There's some really cool business class redemptions we'll be able to get for very cheap because it's within Asia. So I don't know what that'll be yet, but I looked them all up on points.arrow and just lots of possibilities for like 20,000 points in business class. So even lay down seats. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then we'll stay in Korea for about 3 days so she can meet some of my friends there that I made while working. Want her to just meet some of them, just let her see Seoul. And then we'll get on a plane and fly back to Taipei, stay about 3 or 4 days in Taipei, Taiwan. And then we'll get on a plane and fly back to the US. So it'll be about, I don't know, 11, 12 days. And that's the big trip we have for the fall. In the spring, just coming up in a few months, we're going to fly Emirates business class from JFK to Milan. Probably I'll never do that again because of the way Emirates has changed their miles. So glad I booked that before the change. And then we'll fly to Emirates to, like I said, to Milan. We're going to stay in Milan a few days. And then we're going to Como, to Lake Como for a couple days. And then we're taking the train up to Zurich, staying there a couple days. And then we're flying back to the U.S. on Swiss Air business class. So we got business class both ways on that one. So that's what I have as far as that's what I got. So streetwear, what are you carrying in your wallet? Well, basically now it's going to be basically my City Prestige card for dining and also my City Elite card. I got a little something on that in a minute. And custom cash for gas, and then everything else is going to go on Bilt Palladium for over 3 points per dollar. A tier. Yay for top performing video. Yep, I was excited. It's the best one I've had so far. But like I said, it's not like going crazy, but it is. In the first 24 hours, it got 1,000 views more than my second top performing video in that same time. So channel's growing. That's exciting. Very exciting. CJ's here and says, love jumping on YouTube and seeing a new video or live from the Rewards Master. Happy Sunday, Bop. Thank you, CJ. You guys are so supportive. So supportive, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you for being a channel member. Stinky Monkey Baby, best name on YouTube, and also a channel member. It says, Bop, I made it here. Good to have you. Let's see. David Williams, I think Bilt is letting you choose between the cards today if you didn't accept your pre-approval. Okay. Well, I already accepted Palladium, but I haven't got my card yet, and it still says they're making it in the app. Anybody else having that problem? Somebody said on my live the other day that it still said they were making the card, but then they got the card. So I don't know what's going on with that. But like I said, I didn't get mail here for 5 days, so that was kind of nasty. Stinky Monkey says, happy afternoon, everybody. Streetweira, Taiwan, must be the tea and the bobo. Amazing food. All right, we're excited to go. Ian, are you flying Zook Boss? Zook Boss. I probably should know what you mean, but I'm not sure I do. Explain. Dem says, how'd you book the Italy trip? Which points? I booked it like a year ago, and I think we moved American Express points before the change. So I think that's how we did it. You're talking about, I know we moved American Express points to Air Canada for the return flights on Swiss Air. And we haven't done Swiss business. We haven't heard great things about it, but it's a business class seat, whatever. It was 70,000 points. It was 87,000, I remember, on Emirates, but I can't remember. I think we moved them over from Amex as well. Okay. Calder says, what are people buying on rent day today to get the double points? Yeah. I guess they're still doing that. When they capped it at 1,000 points, I kind of stopped doing that. Ian says, if so, be prepared to bid cash for first. That's the best first-class product, in my opinion. Brand new. Okay, Ian, thank you. So, Cathay, how much is a bid for first? How much is the upgrade price? So, let me know what that, I know it'll be a ballpark, but that'll be helpful to know. Mike from LA, hope everyone's taking full advantage of their last day to get free rent points. Yep, that's it. Today is the day. I don't get them anyway. I have a mortgage, but yep, I hope you people who get them are getting them. CJ, mine is still being made. I was approved for the Obsidian after messaging Bilt Recon. Okay, mine's still being made too. Ian, your flight home from Zurich, are you flying to Boston? I don't remember. Maybe. I don't remember. I'll have to check back, and if you remember to ask me next live, I'll try to have an answer for you. John's Credit and Travel. Yo, what's up, Mike? Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, John, good to see you. Great to have you here. Watched a couple of your videos in the last couple of days. If everybody hasn't seen John's channel, he's like all things Amex and Delta. So we're kind of opposite on that. I'm all things City and AA. So, but he's got good info. So check him out. Dem says, hey, John. All right, let me get to the stuff today. All we're really going to get through is the new developments, the restaurant rewards, and the Centerpiece. So here we go. New developments. The Rewards Master has a Ritz-Carlton card. Well, he doesn't have it yet, but it is been product changed and it's in the mail. So I did this for Nona because Miss Nona, she likes her luxurious hotel stay. So I thought, well, the card has a pretty good credit. I've heard you can use it for a lot of different stuff. The travel credit, the $300 travel credit. I don't know how much we'll use the priority pass, although my son was an authorized user on my old Marriott card. So apparently he's an authorized user on this card too. So that'll be pretty cool for him to get that lounge access for no extra cost. And the big reason I'm excited about it is the 85K cert, but I got it as a consolation price because I was very disappointed that I got denied. I am still in pop-up jail on the personal side with everything for Amex, and I have no idea how to get out. I don't think anybody knows how to get out. So I put some spend on the cards. I didn't make no difference. I mean, I don't know. They just don't like me right now, but I've been in it before and then I got out of it and they give me card after card and then I got in it again. So I don't know. but I tried to get the Brilliant card first because I know that's the process you have to take. But I wanted that platinum status because she likes her upgrades. She likes them. But we're still going to hopefully be able to enjoy this Ritz-Carlton card. Any advice on using the certs for better rooms or whatever, even though it just comes with gold status, please let me know. So that's kind of my new development. Let's see. We had, I think this was the last comment we got to. Joey Cowboy. Good to have you, Joey. Says, hey, all. Anyone like me still holding out hope that the new Bilt mortgage portals will allow us to use non-Bilt card to pay mortgage and earn point subs for those cards? Yeah. I'm holding out for that because if I can use my Alaska card to get 3 Alaska points, I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to find, like we're going to talk about in the centerpiece today, different ways to use the Bilt cash. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm not holding out for it, but I'm hoping for it. And who knows, maybe they will. John's credit says, thank you, sir. Mike says, I wouldn't stress it. Bop says they're still making mine too. Bilt seems very on top of it. Solid company. All right. Well, that's a different opinion than many have. I've been pretty high on them, but a lot of people aren't. But yeah, they're making it. They'll get it to me, I'm sure. Ian says, if you're flying direct to Boston on Swiss and business class, you have the opportunity to bid cash to upgrade to first class. Oh, very nice. That business class is going to be extremely nice, brand new product. Well, good. I'm excited about that. Thank you. I had heard mixed reviews, but it was probably for their old product. So that's great. That's great. Tampa Travel channel member. Great to see you, Tampa. I heard Bilt isn't making you buy 4 bananas this month to qualify for Bilt points. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe it's a last hurrah or something. I mean, who knows? Ian says, but first is unreal looking. Okay. I'll try for it as long as the upgrade isn't like $4,000 or something. I2L Media says, might start paying utilities on rent day at 5.33x. Yeah. I mean, some of these numbers that seem possible with Bilt are just mind-boggling. John says, Dem, good afternoon. Streetwear says, nice looking card. Yeah, I'm excited to see it in person. Haven't got it yet, but oh, no more Mr. Nice Guy says just got his Ritz also. That's cool. You liking it so far? And David William, Amex approved me for $75K Blue Business Plus, then denied me for a business checking account. I mean, who knows? They're like Bilt. Who knows why they want people that they want and don't want people they want? I think they've been sending me no lifetime language on the Blue Business too, and I think they're just pushing that product right now. I don't know how to explain that. Do you have a business checking account? I do not, or have a personal Amex checking. I do not. Let's see, Mike. A little bit of sarcasm. And no more personal account. That's my first Amex card. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go to the next slide. Let me see, first of all, how many are in here. It says we got 81. That's pretty awesome. Hey, we might beat the all-time high of 107 today if we got 81. Hit the like button. Subscribe. If you give a super chat, super sticker, all that stuff helps. Maybe we'll beat it because we're 87. That's pretty close. It's getting up there, just 20 shy of the top number of all time. All right, so restaurant rewards. I haven't talked about United Mileage Plus X in a while, but I still love it. And let me tell you why I love it. I live in a pretty small place. I mean, I travel for work all the time, but we, live out on property and we're out of town, and that's going to really play into some of this Bilt stuff that I've got to choose from. But we, I fly generally out of Memphis, sometimes Birmingham, sometimes Nashville, just kind of depends, but I got to drive either way. And here where I live, there's a lot of fantastic restaurants. In fact, I would say in the area we live, some of the best restaurants, I would say our restaurants are good as anywhere in the world. Most of them are local, not chain restaurants. And there are no Bilt dining restaurants within I checked today. The closest one is 1 hour and 12 minutes from my house. So that means there are no United dining restaurants. There are no American Airlines dining restaurants. They just don't focus on smaller cities. So that I love the United Mileage Plus X app because it doesn't have local restaurants. It has Texas Roadhouse and it has Outback and it has all of these chain places that we got like, there's 40 of them in my community because they're chain restaurants. And you can get amazing value. Now they're United points and everybody knows, watches my channel knows I'm not a huge fan of United. They're kind of meh to me. They're kind of so-so. They're not the worst points currency ever. I mean, Delta's got them beat on that by far, but they're not the best by far. I mean, they're just kind of, you can pretty much find 80K or 88K business class seats if you're looking for them, which that's okay, right? But man, you can earn with this app. And so here's an example. So last night, the Nona was kind of planning and putting on a church party for daddies to bring their daughters to. It's kind of a sweet thing, And so she ordered some food and asked me to pick it up and bring it to her. And so I paid for it and I'll get reimbursed for that and all that kind of stuff. And it was $275 is what it was for a bunch of, side dishes and chicken strips and all this stuff. Well, it was at a restaurant called O'Charlie's, which is in the South. There are several places. They're just like an Applebee's kind of restaurant. And they're on the Mileage Plus X app and they pay 5 United points per dollar spent through the app. Plus, if you have a United credit card, you get a 25% boost. So on 5X, you're getting 6.25X on your purchase. Now, it had a limit at O'Charlie's, a maximum of $100, which seems kind of dumb for a restaurant because, we often spend over $100 at a restaurant. So I don't know why they do that. But it had a maximum of $100. So for the $275, I got there at 5:04 p.m. Central Time. So it would have been after 6 o'clock on the East Coast. So that is city nights, right? So I got there and through the app, I paid for the gift card, which does code in that app as dining. And so what basically happened is I spent $275 that I'm getting reimbursed for. And it didn't cost any more to do this. I got a whole bunch of United miles. Basically for that, I got 625 United miles for that purchase. Plus I got 1,600 and that put the rest, the 175 directly on the card. So I got 6X for that. So in all, I got 2,275 points broken up into 625 United miles and 1,650 thank you points for just that one purchase. And so that's combining the best multiplier on dining you can get, which is city nights with the Strata Elite, and this awesome boost of 5X, or really 6.25X, because I do have just the No Annual Fee Gateway card that gives me the boost. So I don't know what y'all think about that, but I thought it was really, really a good redemption. And that's why I love the United Mileage Plus X app. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves with some. We dropped down a little bit to 76 in here. Let me see how many have hit the like button. 29. So please hit the like button if you haven't done so far. Okay, let's see who we have here. Let's see. We already did that. We already saw the sarcasm comment. Let's see. Okay, Gunna Diver. We're just going to call you Gun. Gun says, "What's up, all? Good to have you here. Good to have you here." Dem says, "I have 4 Blue Business Plus at 75K each. Got them all within a few months. Targeted mail office." Yeah, when they get on a roll of no lifetime language, they're on a roll for sure. Augie's Travels, for those of us that can spend, have a feeling Hyatt is going to see a large influx of point transfers. I think so, because that's going to be one of the main ones from Bilt. I think we're also going to see a lot going to Atmos. Mike from LA. Hey, can anyone recommend any other cards with good non-sub big spend, 15 to 30K bonus milestones other than Hyatt, Hilton free night certificates, or airline status, or Atmos companion ticket, or Bilt status? Well, you kind of eliminated the big ones there. So I'll let anybody else comment on that. But those are the ones that would have popped in my mind as far as big spend that gives you some kind of bonus. Of course, you can always say on the big cards, Reserve or Amex Platinum or all that, you can get extra airline access, lounge access, like for your guests and stuff. But there's that. David Williams, Dim, that's crazy. I'm hoping to get a lot of Amex points. Yep, you can that way for sure. Dim, solid MR earning card, and says not even thinking about Hyatt with Bilt. Laser focused on Atmos. I'm there too. I pay for my hotels generally, so unless I just got the points, and then I will. But typically, I got so many hotel credits, I got to think about that. All right, so let me reach over here, grab my papers that I put together on the centerpiece for today. All right, this is what we're talking about today. Ranking Bilt cash redemptions for me. Now, I want to be clear on this. I say for me intentionally because like I said, I don't live in New York City. I don't live in Los Angeles. Now, I have lived in big cities. I lived in the Bay Area one time, and I lived in Detroit for several years. So I've lived in those places. And we could even, I could choose where I wanted to live now, and I could live those places now. But in the smaller community where I live, a whole lot of this Bilt stuff is completely irrelevant. I mean, it's non-applicable, right? And I do think that is a big time shortcoming of Bilt's system. They lean so heavy, and I guess it's because all their executives live in New York, so that's just what they think. But they lean so heavily on city dwellers, and city dwellers are a lot of the population of the U.S. And I think people have the idea that city dwellers are people with money and that people out in more rural areas don't have money. And I would say to that, you need to get to know people in rural areas, because I've known some farmers that would put most city dwellers to shame. I mean, you think, yeah, but he drives a pickup. Yeah, a $95,000 pickup that he buys a new one every year. I mean, I know those guys. I mean, it's just not a fair assessment to look at America that way. So there are people in more rural areas that are well off. There are people in cities, of course, that are well off. Now, in more rural areas, though, what's intriguing is where I live, I know a lot of people that are super high, very, very high income people who have, well over six-figure incomes, lots and lots and lots of them, but their house payment's like $800 because you have more disposable income if you're a high income person in a more, middle America type place. And the reason is because the primary things about, like, for instance, I have family members who live out in California and high professions. Like I have a lot of friends who are medical doctors. They don't make any more money out there than they do here. I mean, because I've asked them and we've talked about it. And I have family in the medical profession out there. I mean, maybe 5% more, 10% more, but the same house that is $500,000 here would be $2 million there. See what I mean? There's a difference between that. So I think that Bilt has made a colossal illustration of poor judgment. And when it comes to that, they're looking at this thing just big city, big city, big city. And I think that hurt them on the rent thing too, giving away free rent. I mean, if they would have just given that away by middle America standards, that'd be like $800 a month on average. But no, in New York City, it's $4,000, right? I mean, I think that they're missing the boat. I think they should make it more comprehensive. And I said that at the outset of getting into this stuff, because as a person who doesn't live in one of those big cities, and I just think that a lot of these card companies are just kind of like living in a bubble. Some of these people who make these decisions. That's why I think United did a really smart thing with that Mileage Plus X app, because you know what? There's a Texas Roadhouse everywhere. There's an Outback. There was an Outback in Seoul, Korea that I went to. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, they're more applicable, but they don't seem to go for those, or maybe they can't get them. But if they can't get them, how could United get them? They don't try, I guess. I guess they don't try. I don't know. It's so strange to me. Let me go back to comments before I dive into it fully. All right. Street Weira says Bay Area. Yeah, we weren't there long, but we were there for a while. Talk about expensive. That place was expensive. I mean, it was expensive. Dim Wordsmaster, I know you like the the airline portals, but have you considered Rakuten? I always compare both, and Rakuten tends to be better multipliers, although you don't earn status points. Yeah, I'm kind of switching, Dim. Now that I can earn Bilt points, and I did Rakuten the other day on a Viator booking. I'm taking a group with us when we do the Milan stuff. And so I bought all of our Viator stuff, and I did get 12X. So I was quite excited about that. I think you're right. I'm kind of like, I'm not so excited about my AA status anymore. I'm going to settle at Platinum because then I get the main cabin extra for free when I book. So that's kind of where I'm going to settle in on it. Streetwear, my brother is a doctor. He is so middle class in California. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you, a doctor in Mississippi or Tennessee or Alabama is not middle class. There's not, I mean, a family practitioner is not middle class. They're doing well. But that's because a couple $100,000 is a lot of money in the South. It doesn't go very far out there. It just doesn't. Phil, good to have you. Channel member says city folks live off credit to look the part. Country folks pay cash and save. There may be something to that, but country folks buy stuff. They do. And I mean, I got people all around me who, and it's a city. I mean, 40, 50,000 people, but I mean, it's not one of those big cities, but people everywhere use their credit cards everywhere, but they're not targeted by these companies. It's so strange. Gent, good to have you, Gent. Doctors get paid mostly the same across the U.S. because it's hard to get doctors to work in rural areas. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. In fact, I've heard doctors in this part of the world, in Mississippi, who make more money here than they would have in a big city because they try to get them to come here. Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin, always good to have you here, my friend. Gent, some doctors get paid just as well in rural areas because there is a shortage of doctors in rural areas. Yep. That's true. And that's true. I mean, some other professions are kind of that way too. It depends on the profession. Craig Howard says, checking in from Jackson, Mississippi. Go Rebels. All right. All right. I might have some cowbell ringing people on here, so I won't comment. I'll just let you say that loud. Family Travel John, channel member. John, good to have you. I'm in the same boat. I basically live in the middle of the woods. The closest Bilt restaurant is 4 hours away. Bilt cash will only be for unlocking points and accelerator. Yep, I'm going to get to some of that in just a minute. Nuracan, good afternoon all. Good to have you here, Nuracan. Gent, there's a shortage of doctors in rural areas. They get paid comparable to urban centers. Yep, they sure do. And they do well. And that's the thing, is that there are other professions that way too. Accountants and you pretty much a lot of very professional people do well regardless of where they live. And their income in cities does scale up, but it doesn't scale up to the percentage that like housing scales up, right? I mean, you can buy a really nice place in a lot of America. $500,000 will buy you a really nice place in a lot of America. But in some major cities, it won't. So it's like the income might be 10% difference, but the housing is like, 200% difference. So I really think Bilt and the other card companies, they're just living in a bubble and they don't see that. And that's just my rant for today. So y'all forgive me for that. But okay, well, let me explain. So I went through all 19 of the ones that the email told us that we'd get to do. And this is what I came up with. The first 8 of them are absolutely irrelevant. So the ranking, you could replace number, 12 with number 19 and it wouldn't matter because I'm not going to use any of them. Okay. $120 for Bilt stuff. I try to be very proper. So I say Bilt stuff instead of the Bilt stuff, right? I mean, it's just, I don't want any of that stuff. I got so many logo cups and logo. I don't want any of that stuff. I'm not going to spend anything that has any value to me on that. So you may disagree. If you want the Bilt stuff, power to you. I mean, I wouldn't judge anybody for it, but I'm not going to buy that stuff. 18. $50, $5 a month for parking. This one's funny. You think that anywhere outside of New York City is going to have anywhere you can park and pay with bill points? I mean, come on. That is, you think that maybe they'll be able to use it at the Memphis airport? What do you think? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not going to be able to use that. Where I live, you don't pay to park anywhere. I mean, it's just not a thing in most of America, I mean, except if you go to a nice hotel somewhere, maybe, but you just don't pay to park. So it's so city centric. That is so city centric. It wouldn't apply to me. And if I'm in a big city, which we do go, we travel, but when we go, we're Ubering and stuff. We're not driving. So, all right. Number 17, $100 GoPuff membership. That's why we shop at Walmart. For me, GoPuff, you think, do they deliver within a 30-mile radius, maybe? Because that'd be about as close as I could get. They're not going to deliver out. I mean, if anybody tried to deliver my place, they'd be calling me 8 times to figure out where I live. I mean, GPS will get you there, but it's just not relevant. It's just not relevant. All right, I did 3 of them. Let me go back to comments. Oh, by the way, we 81 in here. That's awesome. Please hit let's see how many, 38 have hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Super chats, super stickers help with that. Appreciate all of it. Yuri jumps in and says, hello, Bop from sunny San Diego. Just rub it in, Yuri. Rub it in. It's still, I think it's 19 degrees today. So yeah, no fun. Dim says, I'm just kidding, Yuri, by the way. I'm glad you're here. Dim says, I spent $36 in Miami yesterday for parking. $5 barely pays the city tax on that. I know. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. All right. Moving on. Let's see what we got next here. Number 16, $600, $50 monthly for dining experiences. What does that even mean? Dining experiences. I mean, I guess the closest thing I ever have, we do in my community, we have 2 fantastic. I mean, we have a lot of great restaurants. I mean, we have a good Indian food place. If you like Indian food, we have a really, really good Korean barbecue place. I mean, we have 2 different competing Japanese, what do you call that? Hibachi, where they cook it in front of you. That's the closest thing to a dining experience that comes to my mind, but I don't know what they mean by that. But I know that I ain't ever going to do it. So unless our local Mississippi hibachi place is on their list, which, I mean, we can take bets on that, but I'll win. I promise you, they ain't going to be on the list. And then number 15, $60, $5 monthly for 15-minute home delivery. That's going to work. 15-minute home delivery. Since it takes me 15 minutes in my car to get to the nearest store. And that's in a town of, I don't know, 200 people. So I don't think that is the most useless thing. 15-minute home delivery. That's why I love Walmart. They deliver to my house. Pretty awesome. Number 14, $480, $40 monthly for fitness classes. I don't think Planet Fitness is going to be on there. What do you think? What about some of the, 24-hour fitness or any of those? They ain't going to be on there. I promise you. They ain't going to be any on there that I can use. Now, will they have I can get some fitness channels on there? I guess I maybe could, that I could watch digitally or whatever, watch on my phone. But I mean, I can get on YouTube and find that stuff. So why would I do that? I don't know. Seems like totally irrelevant to me. Number 13, $95 per experience, home away from home. Now I put this one here and you notice it's a little higher on the list because if I wasn't going to be gold status, but with the Palladium, I'm going to be gold status. And with my spending, I'm going to stay gold status at least, I think, based on how much I think I'll be spending on it. So I wouldn't need to upgrade to that home away from home. Although I am excited to kind of use that because I like fine hotels and resorts and boy, Nona likes it. So I think that's going to be pretty good. But I just put this so low because it really is only if you don't have gold status or platinum status. So, and then number 12, $768, $32 each for priority pass guest access. That might be really helpful to me if I didn't have 7 priority pass memberships because all my cards, basically, and mine give two, most of them give two guests. So I can, if I want more than several people in there, I can just keep checking in again and get two more people in every time. I've only done that once, but it did work. So that's just not going to be something I could use it for. But it is higher on the list because there could be a world in which I might, right? There could be a world in which I might. All right, we got 83 inch and up. That's pretty good. Let me go back to comments real quick. Mike says, speaking from LA and hardly ever go into a Bilt neighborhood restaurant. They're just not in the best spots. Yeah. By the way, Mike, have you ate? I used to work a lot in LA, fly out there to work. And my favorite burger joint in the world is in LA. It's Slater's 50/50. Their meat is 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon. And when I would go out there to work, the people would take me to that all the time. So I don't know. I don't know, Mike, if you've been there, but I love Slater's 50/50. It is awesome. Nemo, Los Angeles. It's 80 degrees in LA. Yeah, you guys telling me again. I wish it was 80 degrees here. Mike says Resi has much better and popular restaurants. I agree. They do. Much better restaurants. 52 Taipei. I bought AA flight Paris to JFK for 42,000 points, 13 taxes for economy. I paid for my seat for 161 instead of wasting additional 17,000 points. Did I waste my AA points? They were asking 240,000 for premium or 400,000 for business. So did you pay 161 to upgrade to premium economy? Is that what you're meaning? If that's the case, then I think you did well. I would do that. That typically last minute on AA, I can tell you this because I do it a lot. Last minute on AA, you can usually upgrade, and it comes out to about, I think the last time I was looking for premium economy all the way from Korea back home, it was from 35 to 55K. So maybe 20K extra to upgrade to premium economy. So Robert says, what card do you use for Walmart? Well, it's going to be the Palladium card. It's been things like the Venture X before, but I've got a little hack, and I hate to say this, that it's going to be for channel members, but the truth is that I really don't want anybody to hear about it and cut down the hack, but it's basically using gift cards and that mileage plus X. And I'll be putting out a channel member video on that soon, but that mileage plus X does have Walmart on there. So maybe you can put all that together. Nuracan, we have Slater 50/50 here in Vegas too. Good burgers. Yep. It is good stuff. Mike says, haven't been to Slater's. We'll try it. Thanks for the recommendation. And I doubt it's on the Bilt crappy restaurant network. I doubt it, but it's such, 50% ground bacon in the burgers. It's just so good. They have one that's chorizo too. That's really awesome. All right. 92, 107 is the top we've ever had. So hit that like button and subscribe, all that stuff, along with super chats, super stickers. That stuff all helps. All right, number 11. Now we're getting into stuff that I might use. These are the maybe category of stuff. The $600, $50 monthly for comedy clubs, or comedy experiences, or whatever they're calling that. Nona and I like to laugh. So if we're ever in New York, and we do go to New York, Miss Nona, she loves going to Broadway shows. She pretty much, she goes to everything that comes to Memphis and everything that comes, Birmingham, she'll go to those. And she loves comedy club. She loves that kind of stuff. She would like a comedy club. I think she'd enjoy that. So there's a slim chance that maybe we would use that. Maybe. So that's why it's so low on this list, but it's still in this mid-range of things that are an outlier possibility that I might use. All right, number 10. Now we're starting to get into things that are more realistic. $120, $10 a month in Walgreens. There are like 8 Walgreens in close to where I live. So it's like I drive by them all the time near my office, all that stuff. So yeah, I don't shop at Walgreens a lot, but we might use that someday. That's possible. And if I'm in a Walgreens or I need to pick something up driving by there, maybe I'll use it through my Bilt cash if I have a bunch of extra Bilt cash. So that's a possibility. And then we get to number 9. Now this one, I think some folks will probably be surprised that it's so high up on my list. Number 9 is not high, but it's something I might use. And that is, I would just love to see Nona's face if we fly into, JFK and we're going into the city and I say to her, yeah, I've got a transportation arrangement. She'll probably think I got a black lane. She did enjoy the black lane, or think I got an Uber or something. And then I take her and we get on a helicopter and fly into Manhattan. I just think she would think that's cool. And so I would probably burn $350 of that Bilt cash just for that experience. So this one's here for the, one-time experience, right? I think that would be cool. Although I'm not sure I'd get her on a helicopter, but I might be able to. That's pretty cramped spaces. And if you watch any of her Wagon travel videos, she's weird about elevators and tight spaces. So maybe I could get her on that, but that would be at least a possibility. Looks like we have 77 watching and 47 have hit the like button. So that's great. No new comments. Let's move on to the next one. Number 8. $120, $10 a month Grubhub. I have used a lot of Grubhub. We have that in my community. And, the Grubhub, I had the Amex Gold Card forever. And then I do still have a Grubhub credit every month on my American Airlines executive card that I try to use. But, there's a little bit of breakage there sometimes. And Grubhub is not hard for me to use because I eat every day. I go to lunch and when I'm at my office or whatever, I do that. But I will say this. I don't know that I want more Grubhub in my life. I use it and I find a way to get my money back from the credits, but I'm not itching to have more of that. And so that's why this is so low at number 8. And then number 7. Now this one, now we're starting to get into the ones that I might actually use. And this one's going to be dependent. And I would love to know if any of you know the answer to this, but it's $120, $10 a month for Lyft. I use Lyft a lot, and I have a lot of credit in Lyft because my Delta Reserve, before I downgraded it, the Delta Reserve has a $10 a month rideshare credit. And so I would just load $25 because that's the least you can do on Lyft's app. I would load $25 a month every month and get $10 back from Delta, the Delta Reserve card for a long time. So I have a lot of Lyft credits. I wonder if you can just load $10 into your Lyft account and you'll get this, and you can do it this way. Because if I can do that, I think I for sure will. But if not, then maybe every now and again. That's kind of the way that'll break down. And then number 6, and this one I actually think is a possibility that I'll use after I used up the 2 with the elite card that you get every year for first 6 months, second 6 months, $100 credit, $100 Black Lane. We like Black Lane. I know it's not as good a deal as doing an Uber, even an Uber Black sometimes, but if you can find it around that $100 mark, it feels like free luxury because it's different than an Uber. The guy picks you up and he's waiting for you at baggage claim with your name on a placard, and he takes your bags to the car, loads your bag. It's a really nice car. I mean, it's a fun experience, and we loved it. We've only done it once. We're getting ready to do it again on one of our trips, and it was fun. It's just fun. So I think that if I had some cash sitting around in my Bilt cash, I would probably be more than happy to book a Black Lane because we really liked it. All right, let me see. Dim says, I've taken Blade from New York City to the Hamptons a few times. Really cool experience. Cool. Well, I'm excited to surprise Nona with that. All right, Brad Taylor. Brad Taylor became a YouTube member. Thank you, Brad. Welcome to the membership and to the community. And glad to have you as a part. Glad to have you here. Free Music says, my top uses for Bilt Cash. And I think it's still coming. Street Wera says $10 in 2026 is like $5 in the year 2010. Yeah, kind of the way it works. That's inflation for you. All right, we got 76 still in here. That's great. Let's go and get a few more in. Number 5. Now we're getting to stuff, like I said, I'll probably use. $300, $25 a month for Bilt dining. Like I said, the closest Bilt dining to me is an hour and 10 minute or an hour and 12 minute drive, something like that. But that is a place we go sometimes. That's not too far that we wouldn't do that for a special meal or something. So might use that. And when we're traveling in other places, depending on if there's built dining restaurants that are like, some of you, like Mike said that even in LA, they aren't convenient. So I don't know if we'll use it. That's why it's here at number 5. But I could see that possibly being a use that we might use it for. Either driving the hour here locally, or if we're traveling, because we do travel a lot. So in the cities that we're in, that could be helpful as well. And then number 4. Now, I'm going to wait and catch up on any comments we have, because these last 4 are the ones that'll be heavy, because these are the ones that I think I will really get great value from. Okay. A tier. I just signed up for OnePay, but interested to hear in the members only Walmart because I got tired of getting less. Okay. For OnePay, but interested to hear in members only Walmart because I get tired of getting less. Okay. Yeah. That's going to be coming out in the next week or so. I'm going to film that because it's been working pretty good. I'm getting almost 6 points per dollar spent at Walmart. So just to kind of prime you for that. All right. A tier also says, I just signed up for the OnePay card and got tired of getting less than 5% at Walmart, but I'm excited to hear what you're doing. All right, cool. I kind of got the gist of it ultimately. Okay. These are my good uses, and we're at 51 minutes. So this is probably a good time to dive into these last 4. $75 per time for a 25% transfer boost. Now, it's number 4 because if I knew what they were going to be or how frequently they were going to do them and how good they're going to be, like I'm not going to do a core. I don't do hotel points, so I'm not going to do a core. But if they had Air France and I could bump it, if they had Air Canada and I could bump it, and boy, if they had Alaska, I'd spend every Bilt point I had to bump it. I'm probably, if I had a lot to transfer, because I think this can be very, very, very valuable. So already I'll get a good rate at gold status, but if I can bump it up once or twice, I'll do that. And you might be limited to only be able to do it for 125% boost. I'm not sure. Okay. The third thing I'm going to use, $1,200, $100 monthly. That's at the gold status. I think it's less if you're silver or if you're blue. But $1,200, $100 a month you can use for hotel credit. And the way I understand it is that hotel credit can stack with the $200 every 6 months you get with the Bilt card, the Palladium card for their hotel portal. And if I get, and I could use their home away from home or whatever they call their FHR equivalent, and I can get 100 on top of my 200, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because, like I said, Nona's spoiled. She wants the nicer places. So that I'll do that. I mean, I know I will. That's why I put it number 3. All right. Nurcan says transferring Bilt cash to other Bilt card holders like family members or friends can be interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about it much, but I think it could be. Dim, I was reading that you might be able to earn interest on your Bilt point balance. Does anyone know how that works? Well, it expires at the end of the year. So, I mean, how much you going to earn? I don't know. What would the rate be? Whenever somebody tells me that they're going to earn interest, I'm like, what's the rate going to be? I don't know. Maybe, I guess I'm just not a believer that they'll come through for us in that way. All right, let me get to number 2 and number 1. Number 2, $200, and you can do it up to 5 times. Points accelerator on 5,000. I'm thinking about doing that with the $200 they give me from the card when I first get it. I mean, that's awesome. 5 times up to $5,000. Boosting your rate. That means that with your rent, you're going to be getting like 4x on your card. I mean, on everything for that $5,000. To me, that is a great use of this funny money, this monopoly money they're giving us, because the points, the Atmos points I'll get from that are real. Those are real. And this is, to me, the great benefit. And then the final one is, of course, I put $40. I made a mistake. That's supposed to be $30 for $1,000 in mortgage payments, points on your mortgage payment. So to me, that's just like, that's a no-brainer. I mean, if you have a $1,000 mortgage, you pay $30 Bilt points and you get 1,000 more points. I mean, if you pay for $2,000 in mortgage payment, you're getting 2,000 more points. To me, that is the biggest no-brainer ever. So that's what I got today. Let me catch up on final comments. Phil says, would they ever transfer Boost to Alaska or Hyatt? Well, I'm hoping, but I doubt it. I mean, that's kind of, I don't think they will. I bet those points cost them more. So I'm going to guess that they probably won't, but maybe, but I doubt it. So we'll see. I'm hoping so. I would do either one of those at a transfer bonus boost. All right. Icha81 says, can we stack points accelerator with the 4x spend we need to make to achieve gold status? I think so. I mean, I think that I think that the two metrics they have are spending or points accumulation. And I think especially on the points accumulation side, you should be able to. It should work. None of us will know till we get into it. But K-State Nate says, I pretty much look at Bilt Cash as a way to get more Bilt points. I don't see myself having a pile of extra Bilt Cash. Well, I don't know either. The question for me is going to be, can I pay my mortgage with a different credit card? Because if I can, then I'll have a lot of Bilt Cash because I'm going to use that card a lot and I'll have extra. So Mike from LA, doesn't math support 1-1 hotels and Lyft taking precedence over points accelerator? I would suppose so, but I just don't know that I would have the use for the hotel, and the Lyft I just won't use enough. So in my situation, if a person lived in a place where they're commuting all the time with Lyft and Lyft and Uber, I mean, I would say probably, because it is 1-to-1, but it's just $10 a month on the Lyft part. And, on the hotels, maybe, depending if a person can use them and has enough stays. I have so many hotel credits already. I mean, I don't know that I'll need that much more. Tampa Travel, Bob, how do you see Bilt Cash working? Do you think it'll be applied automatically, or do you see it having to be applied against charges manually? I do not know. I was thinking about that today. Is it going to be simple? Is it going to be streamlined, or is it going to take a lot of extra effort? That's going to be a question too, because if it's going to take a lot of extra effort, probably just do the simple things that get me the highest value that I talked about at the end there. All right. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap it up. It's been 57 minutes. Let me go back through all those who help support the channel. First of all, Brad Taylor is a new member. Good to have you, Brad. Great to have you as a part of the community. Always appreciate our those who sign up for the membership. Let's go back a little bit. And Mike Newland gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. And Mike is a great supporter of the channel, as he has many channels, and appreciate that so much. So basically 6 new members today. So we're glad to have them and appreciate all of you for being here, for supporting the channel. Couple last comments on here. Nicola says, what card should I get? Alaska Summit or the Started Elite or the Elite? Or Strata Elite? Well, I think that depends. I love the Elite card. I don't have the Summit card yet, because I don't know that it helps me that much, since I think I'm going to get 3X with Bilt that goes to Atmos anyway. But if you travel outside the country a lot, if you spend a lot of money in foreign currency, or if you're seeking Alaska status, I think the Summit's better. But I think the Elite card is very strong if you fly primarily AA, because you're going to get those lounge passes and other stuff. So, and really great earnings, especially on dining. And then points. Hey, Gary, good to see you, man. If you have Bilt Elite status, you do get interest on your Bilt points, but rate is tied to the FDIC rate, low, like 0.5% paid in Bilt points. Yeah, I mean, so it's not really overly significant. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you for everybody for being here. And well, thank you for helping my last video be the best one yet. And I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you here next time.